Summoners, welcome to the League of Legends Patch Notes Forecast, here to bring you the upcoming changes that you can expect to everyone's least favorite video game. The MSI patch is here, so dust off your Cheeto dust, get your G Fuel ready, and cover your butt.
Cover the what?
After receiving some nice buffs last patch, it's clear that Riot wants the Moo Man to be a more formidable support. This time around, they've increased the duration of his ultimate. Unfortunately for him, Nautilus and Leona still exist. Targon's pet dragon has been nerfed every patch since his rework, and this one's no different. You look me dead in the eye and tell me a 50% ban rate doesn't justify that. So, Riot decided to put Asol on a diet, decreasing his max HP and armor growth. Ezreal's Gauntlet just got some small tweaks, slightly increasing his base AD. Lot of good mages out there, but he isn't one of them. To prepare him for the upcoming Mage Seeker video game, Riot's polishing up Garen's outdated ass equipment, increasing his base AD and armor. Patch Notes Forecast would like to remind you to always respect the might of Demacia. Janna mains, it's time to throw a fucking party! The overall damage on her W is going up, and the shield delay on her E is straight up doubling. I'm still curious about how she'd leave me breathless, but I'll have to save my curiosity for another day. J4 has been absolutely dominating solo queue these last few months. No one man should have all that swagger. His AD growth and the base damage of his Q are going down. That being said, Patch Notes Forecast would still like to remind you to respect the might of Demacia. On his way to the Rift, Kayn stepped in some wet cement, decreasing the bonus movement speed from his E and increasing its cooldown while in blue form. Since these changes only apply to blue Kayn, Ross can still run amok like the homicidal demon that he is. It's time for the Voidborn to get some love, and Kha'Zix got the short end of the stick. Following up from his last buffs, the base damage on his Q is going up. This may elevate him to the top of the jungle food chain, but right now he's still under my shoe. I hate bugs. The cutest abomination on the Rift, sorry Yuumi, is well overdue for some buffs. The biggest of which is going to his passive, increasing its base damage. The cooldown of his Q is going down, and the mana cost and slow on his E is getting adjusted. I still can't believe Riot's choosing to buff the worst passive in the game, but they've made worse decisions before. Leona buffs are coming in hot, and giving us another reason not to choose Alistar. The bonus resistances and magic damage on her W is going up at all ranks, making her even harder to deal with in lane. As a Leona main myself, my loins have never been wetter. Lilia's passive is going through a training montage straight out of Rocky. Her damage, as well as her healing on both monsters and champions, is getting adjusted. Now all we need is a remix of Hearts on Fire, and we'll be set. The not-so-Iron Giant has been tearing booties asunder in top lane. Riot thinks the problem is his W, so they're decreasing its base damage later, as well as decreasing the Cleave's armor scaling. Now, it'll be even harder to smell what the Rock is cooking. To prepare her for Naafiri, Riot's giving Nidalee some thicker clothing, increasing her base armor and armor growth. I still think a new wardrobe is in order, but I'll take what I can get. The humblest tank on the Rift is getting a nice buff to her W, increasing its bonus resistances. Her Q is also getting a small damage buff, but don't let that distract you from the fact that she'll be taking almost 25% reduced damage. The reign of Poppy begins now. Rakan is such a fun support to play, but when has Riot ever cared about my feelings? A decrease in his base armor and armor growth should keep him in check, but nothing will keep me away from my Prince Charming. Cosmic Drive is getting changed yet again. Its AP is going up, and it's bringing in a whole new passive. Aside from a bunch of skins I'm not gonna buy, that's all for this patch. This has been League of Legends Patch Notes Forecast, and remember to respect the might of Demacia.